Reverend Steve, keeping it simple. We're going to be in Revelation 2 today. We're going to be in verse 12. We're talking about the church of Pergamon. And now this church, we're going to read this, and they have, Jesus, they got some good qualities here. But what is going to come out here is a couple of things I want to point out when we read this. He talks about a two-edged sword, right? He says they're loyal to him. But then he rebukes them on certain issues, that they've let things in. And that is, I think, a very prevalent part of Christianity today. We've let so much stuff in, beliefs besides, just think about this. A belief that can match with the Nickelodeons in here is evolution. We've let that in. Have parts of Christianity has totally let that come in, and they don't believe in the 6,000 year reign of God when He created it. They believe it's billions of years old. No, it's not billions of years old. Okay, do I think it's 6,000 years old? I don't know. I think it's in the 10,000 years old. The day to God is 1,000 years. So we know that, and we've let a lot of that creep in, that teaching, all that teaching, and Jesus points something out about that teaching. He hates it. So let's get into this. Write this letter to the angel of the church of Pergamon. This is the message from the one with the sharp two-edged sword. So remember that. So he's pointing something out. It's about his word. What is Jesus known about? The two-edged sword. He comes back and he has a sharp two-edged sword in his mouth, and he slices and dices the Antichrist. Right? Kills him with the sword of his mouth. There it is, the sword of his mouth. What's the sword of his mouth? It's the word of God. With the word of God, he kills the Antichrist. Beautiful, right there. And that's what we have to, the word of God is right before us. We always have to go to that. It's there for us. He's accumulated all these beautiful writings for the last 5,000 years for us to learn, for this generation that we live in. I know that you live, this is verse 13, I know you live in a city where Satan has its throne. Many of us live in cities that are dominated by Satan. Okay, so, and this is what he points out to them. And in those cities and every other city, it's the same thing happens to Christians in those cities. Yet you have remained loyal to me. That's the beauty. That's the beauty in that. You're in a city that Satan dwells and is dominated, but you stay loyal to Jesus Christ. Beautiful. He's laying that out. Oh, this is great. You refuse to deny me, even though Antipas, a faithful witness, was martyred among you there in Satan's city. So somebody was martyred at that time, and they stayed faithful. So, how many bad things happen to Christians all over? They're stopping us from preaching now in the corners. We're not allowed to preach in front of, these assemblies of LGBT or whatever. We're not allowed to preach in front of them anymore. They'll arrest you. Right? So that's starting to happen. This is a murder. This is killing. Somebody died in this one. But that's going to start happening eventually. So tribulation, death and tribulation go hand in hand. Martyrdom, Jesus speaks about it many times in the book of Revelation, that the church is going to go through it. Just read Revelation 15. It's all about the martyrs and receiving a harp. Beautiful. That's it today. We'll get into more of this tomorrow. God bless.